it's Alicia, and today I'm going to talk you through my layout. This layout was featured on the front cover of the Uniquely Creative July kit. To begin with, you need to cut the fuchsia reverse paper to 5.5 by 12 inches. This is going to form the middle strip of the layout. We're going to use the lovely flamingo paper as our background paper. We're going to also use some barcode strips from the 12 by 12 white cardstock that was included in the kit. This is going to frame the edges of the black paper, and it matches the photograph having the white edges as well. We're going to adhere the strip onto the background paper, and it's about 3 inches from each of the edges. Then I'm just putting some foam tape on the back of the photograph, but I'm not gluing anything down yet. This layout is one big diagonal cluster of layers, and I'm going to do my very best to talk you through how I created the cluster of layers so that you can do it at home. I start with the diagonal corners of the cluster. I've got one large flower on each corner of the photograph. Nothing's glued down just yet. The title is going to go below the photograph. When I'm building the cluster, I'm using a lot of different materials from the kit. I've used some fussy cut flowers and some fussy cut leaves. I've also used some collectibles and some die cut leaves, and some of the fabric flowers. It's hard to explain how to build up the cluster, but it's basically the overlapping of layers, of paper layers. Everything is half on top of something else. So when I'm building from the corners, I'm thinking of a variety of colours, a variety of shapes to create interest. You can actually cut some things in half as well, which makes the kit go further. If there's a lot of overlap, then it makes sense to cut something in half, and then you can use the other half in another position. So in my mind, I'm thinking of a diagonal line from corner to corner of the 12 by 12 paper. And then I'm trying to create a big cluster of flowers and leaves, overlapping different things, and sticking to the diagonal line idea. This design can be repeated over and over and over with different collections and different materials. The products that Tracy has included in the kit really do lend themselves towards the creation of this type of a layout, because there's a lot of different variety of textures. Now that I am happy with my design of the layers, I haven't glued anything down yet, I'm feeling confident that I'm going to stick my photo down, and it's 3 inches from the top and 3 inches from the bottom. Now is the time where I start to glue my layers on to the layout. And nothing's set in stone, okay? The liquid glue can be moved around and things can be changed. I changed these flowers here several times by the end of the layout. That's the advantage of using the liquid glue. You can pull things off and rearrange as you go. I put the original design down and then I probably alter it quite a bit. I have heard of some people taking photographs of their design before they move it all to start gluing, and that would be helpful because you do forget what it did look like. The big flowers are fussy cut from a page in the kit, and they really are the centerpiece for the layers. And then the smaller flowers are used to basically fill in the gaps. And I love that little flower design there. I think that's really, really cute. Anything with a little leaf on it, like that one there that I've just popped in, creates extra interest. Now these fabric flowers are really beautiful and they really make this layout special. The reason is because they have a different texture to the paper flowers. If you just use all paper, it can get a little bit boring. The addition of the fabric flowers really creates interest in this layout, and they are a fabulous add-on to the kit. I really enjoyed creating with those. Now, I said before that you can change as you go. Well, here I am playing around with these big feature flowers, and I'm layering, and then I'm changing, and then I don't like it, and I change it several times throughout the video. So I just wanted to emphasize that you can really pick and change as you go. It doesn't have to be set in stone, because as you're working through your layout, you will like something that you've done, or you might not like something, and if you don't like it, you can just pull it off and start again. You can see here with the fabric flowers that I'm adding them in underneath, and they're just poking a few petals out from the bottom of all the layers. The big leaf is right at the corner of the cluster, and then I've got the big feature flowers. There's 3 of them there. I bent them up a little bit to create more dimension. And the leaves are behind those feature flowers. There's another big one going in, and then a fabric flower slipping in underneath that. The little die cut is an excellent die cut because it has the gaps in the leaves, so it creates more dimension. It's different to just a flat piece of paper, and I've cut those in the white cardboard. So we're looking at a variety of layers that we're putting into the layout. Now I am looking at the right hand side of the photograph, and I'm working on building the cluster down this side. So you can see I've cut those flowers in half because they're going half under the photograph. Another fabulous addition to the kit is these glass beads, and they are just perfect for adding to the center of a flower. I used liquid glue to glue mine on, and I found that when you first popped them on the liquid glue, they tended to slide around quite a bit. But once the glue has finally dried and it dries clear, they're fine. So now I'm just going around and adding in little fillers to create a cohesive line for the edge of my cluster. I'm playing around with this corner a little bit, just adding in a few more die cut leaves. And I chose to cover both corners of the photograph. So you can see how I'm pulling different little cutout flowers and leaves, and some things I use and some things I don't. Some things I can find a little home for in the cluster. Other times that just doesn't seem to work, so I'd pick something different. This for me is a really enjoyable process. I don't like to rush it. I just like to take my time and play with the layout, and for me this is the most fun part of the whole design. The next step is to add in some die cut flowers. I think these are an add-on to the kit, but they really match well with the die cut leaves because there is a lot of space in between the petals. Plus they coordinate perfectly with the flowers that are already being used. So this just adds extra dimension. Leaves are a really good way to also add in something different because they're a different shape to the flowers. And because they're black and white design, it fits perfectly with the colours of the layout. So we're just about finished the layout now. The next step is to add some glass beads to the outside of the cluster. Just find little spots that you think would suit. And the final step is to add in some silver glitter glue. I ended up putting this on the leaves and also on the die cut flowers that I used. This just adds a little bit of sparkle. And that's the completed layout. I hope you have a wonderful time creating this layout. I know I really enjoyed it. If you have any questions or if you want to share your work, please let me know. I'd love to see it. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful crafty day.